This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Talk to me a little bit about guys that he would push for. We know famously that Pat Patterson is one of the key figures who talks Vince, and correct the rumor and innuendo, because I said we know. Maybe we have wrong information here, but it's been said a lot that Pat Patterson is one of the guys who has Vince's ear and says, you got to go with Brett. You got to go with Shawn. And somebody else that I didn't know that he was pushing for was Rey Mysterio. Was Pat Patterson important to the quote unquote push of Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Rey Mysterio?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I think that Shawn wouldn't have been in the position that Shawn was in had it not been for Pat advocating for him. And both Pat and I for so long just felt we had a baby face on our hands in Shawn Michaels. The audience loved him because he was just so fucking good. And Pat would, as I've often said, sometimes you have to be careful about how hard you may push for a talent because it could have a negative and adverse effect on that talent. And I think that we pushed so hard for Shawn that Vince had an adverse reaction. He'll never be a baby face. But Pat never gave up. If
right.
Pat believed in you, he would fight for it and was a big advocate. Pat loved Brett's work and thought that Brett was great. Just thoroughly enjoyed his work and pushed for Brett big time. As far as Ray winning the Royal Rumble, it was something that Pat pushed for from the standpoint no one would ever believe this little guy is going to win the Royal Rumble. And it was a beautiful story. The timing was right. And they did believe it. You know why they believed it? Because they saw it. Mm. So by God, it was there. And Pat was, you look at the early years of the formation of Titan Sports and the influence that Pat had working with Vince, just hand in hand. There was George Scott that worked directly with Vince and helping put matches together and everything. Pat was a road agent at the time. And then Vince was looking to make a change. And Pat just was in the right place at the right time. Vince needed help. Pat offered his help. And before you knew it, Pat was moving to Sanford and helping Vince all the time. There was a funny story that when Vince made Pat vice president, I don't think we called it talent relations then. I forget what the hell we called it, but maybe wrestling operations. Who the hell knows? And Vince and Linda took Pat out to dinner. And I said, Pat, I want to let you know that we made a decision, a company decision, and Linda and I would like to name you vice president of wrestling operations or whatever it is. And Pat sat there for a minute and said, okay. I don't know what the fuck that is, but okay, if you want to do it, fine. And Vince looks at Linda and says, see, I told you he wouldn't get it. He wouldn't, doesn't understand how important that is and what that means. And Pat looks at him and says, what the fuck? He goes, it's a title. It's a belt. You put it on me, you can take it off of me. The face. It's a work. Yeah. I don't know. Vice president. Yeah, great. Who cares? And that's the way Pat was. Titles were a prop. It was not important to him. It was, I think that he was proud of it, but it wasn't like, there are people
they live for the title.
They live for the title, man. We used to have, I'll never forget one of the, a marketing person and it was a female came up to me the first time that I met her and introduced herself to me as, hello, I am the senior vice president of marketing. I went, hello, senior.
Yeah.
She never gave me her name.
Right.
She gave me her title. I'm like, do you have a name? It's funny. And the Pat didn't buy into that. He was like, I just want to do my job. I just want to have fun. I want to go on at a pace and then create a little. It's like you're making a soup and you put. I like to put a little pepper in my soup, and then you put the noodles, you put the chicken. Sometimes I put the fucking meatball in right in the soup. You got too many fucking guys in here putting in all their fucking ingredients. Your soup tastes like shit. I want to cook my soup my way. And then Pat had the famous analogy that used to drive Vince banana, was when we would reach a point of disagreement and you're kind of at a stalemate. I want this guy to go over. Well, I want that guy to go over. I think this is a better idea. I want to do it this way. I want to do it that way. And when Pat would get to the point of frustration where we're not getting anywhere, he goes, it's like ice cream. It's all ice cream. You like chocolate? I like vanilla. Pick a fucking flavor. And you just drive Vince crazy. He goes, it's not fucking ice cream, goddammit. And he goes, Vince, it's all the same. It's entertainment. It's wrestling. At a pace. You like it this way? I like it that way. It's still the same fucking shit. We just like it a different way. So yours is good. Mine's good. I don't know. Fucking Bruce likes strawberry. He fucking likes the fruits. That's, you look at those simple analogies, they all make sense.
Let's talk a little bit about some different folks that were really synonymous with Pat. We touched on Jerry Briscoe a little bit last week, and I think most everyone remembers their famous run and maybe most notable run during the Attitude Era as the Stooges. And boy, you guys had a lot of fun with some silly moments there. They had a match in drag. They had Hogan's music playing, and he comes out with like an iron-on shirt that says "First IC Champ," and he's doing the big poses. Pat and Jerry were having the time of their life in that era, were they not?
They were, because they were entertainers. And I think some of the guys might look at that and go, I would never want to do that. Pat embraced it. Jerry embraced it. It's why it was so damn good. It's why it had the highest rating in Raw history, because they went out and they had fun with it. And it's like, the base, we'll be the Stooges and we'll go have fun with it. You know, when Pat did the stink face and they took Pat's pants off, he had his underwears on, not underwears. And you always knew how he put them on because it was yellow in front, brown in the back. And at a pace, it was my favorite joke. Case. And it was like Pat's favorite joke about the swimming pool. Whenever anybody would come over to Vince's house, and for whatever reason, Vince had 2 thermometers in the pool to tell the temperature. And
you've told me this.
You know,
you've told me this story before.
Yeah, and Pat, when he goes, that base, and look at him. He's so rich. He got 2 thermometers, one to tell how hot it is, one to tell how cold it is. And would laugh his fucking ass off.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.